Well, happy 2017, everybody. I thought I'd start this year off with my collection of Polaroid cameras, vintage Polaroid cameras, not the newer ones. And I have quite a lot. I'm going to have to sometimes reset, go to different places and get a new batch out and things like that. So it's going to be a little disjointed. But we'll work it. We'll try and get everything in. To start with, SX70, invented by Dr. Edwin Land from Polaroid. Late 1972, 1973. People sometimes hear Land camera, younger people anyway, and they don't realize Edwin Land was a person. So I have a selection of folding cameras we're going to start with, the SX70 style. We'll move on to lots of different types later. And we have Model 1s, Model 2s, Alphas, Model 3s. I've set this one up with an electronic flash accessory that was available at the time. I've set this Sonar One Step up with the typical flash bar, and this Alpha with a modern Impossible flash from Mint. In the back here you'll see a emulsion kit. SX70 films could be manipulated by people for various artistic things, and they made an emulsion kit to help you out, to scrape the emulsion off and do artistic things. Here we have an SX70 in a case. Over here we have a sonar that I have set up for this video just to show you that it could be, any of these could be used as with a wireless remote control, although the wireless remote control was actually a part of the Spectra system. And there's a little conversion cable here that lets you hook it up to a SX70's flash trigger input. More SX70s, and back here we have a accessory kit with lots of little accessories you could use with your SX70, and also a little HO gauge Polaroid train I thought was cute one time when I bought it. That's not an SX70, that's an SLR 680, and it uses 600 speed film, but it's a folding style, so I thought I'd put it out here. Here's a SX70 Alpha with the remote cable inserted into the slot. There's a couple of Model 3s. Those aren't SLRs, actually. The Model 3s were not single lens reflex cameras. And there's another SX70 back there. So that's my SX70 collection, and they all work. I have one that does not work. A little plastic doohickey inside broke. So I'm not even going to show it. But we'll reset now and we'll bring some other things out or go somewhere else and look at some other style cameras. Moving on to a couple of the box cameras. These first two here are box cameras. They don't fold, but they do use SX70 film. We have the One Step Polaroid, and here's somewhat of an oddity. This is one of the few times Polaroid licensed their system to another manufacturer. This is a Keystone Wizard XF1000 that also used Polaroid SX70 film. Might have another Keystone coming up, I'm not sure. And here's three of the more traditional box type cameras you're all used to seeing from Polaroid. These use 600 speed film. The Job Pro in construction safety yellow, the Sun 600, and the 1-600. You can probably get a complete collection of Polaroid box cameras at garage sales for about $1 a piece. Well, no sooner did I put all those little box cameras away than I found a few stragglers. We'll add here as an addendum. This is an SX70 film camera in a box form. That's the Pronto. And it has on the ITT Magic Flash attachment on top instead of a flash bar, just for this video here. Show that that's what that attaches. Next to that we have the Time Zero Pronto autofocus, also an SX70 camera, and it has the Polaroid Polatronic 2 electronic flash mounted on top right now. And then over here we have a 600 speed film, one of the more common ones you'll ever see, the Impulse AF. So we'll attach this to the block of sort of box film cameras. Alright, sticking with the integral film, we're going to move on to Spectra cameras that use a wider film. There's several different types. There's the basic Spectra, another one shown from the back, and I have the wireless remote unit plugged into that one just for show you how it sets up. Over here we have the Spectra AF. All of these are pretty similar. There's some minor differences, but basically they're the same. And here's the Spectra SE, and I've laid out the Spectra filter kit, which these filters can be put in that holder on the left, the upper left black one. That's a filter holder. And you can have some motion and some starburst filters and some multi-image filters that fit over the lens of the Spectra cameras. Now we get into some weird ones here. This is the Pro Cam, which uses Spectra film but isn't necessarily a Spectra. And the 1200 FF, probably the last thing that used Spectra film that was made. And then on the right is kind of a pretender, although Polaroid made it for Minolta, the Instant Pro. Thought you might like to see the back of the Minolta Instant Pro. Show you some of the option it has. It's a pretty sophisticated Spectra camera, really. They kind of fit with the Spectras because they use the Spectra film. Alright, let's start looking at some of the pack film cameras. This first batch kind of opens up. Its normal case position is closed. That's a 101. They numbered these. There was a whole lot with numbers in the 100s, numbers in the 200s, numbers in the 300s, and numbers in the 400s. I've just got a selection laid out here. This is the Model 100 laying on its back. The 101 closed. We have the 250 here with the flash gun attachment. And then we have the 440 with the flash cube attachment. And anybody who shoots these old cameras know you have to have a supply of the odd voltage batteries available for your shooting. Now I'll show you what else I have here. I also have more 100 series cameras and a whole lot more 200 series cameras and a whole lot more 300 series cameras. I think I have 21 in all of this type of camera. That includes the ones I laid out on the floor. Alright, here are some rigid body pack film cameras that use mostly the rectangular film, similar to the fold-out bellows ones, the 100 through the 400 series. Here's a super shooter, color pack 2, color pack 4, super color pack, the electric zip. Now I've never been able to use this one because it does not use the same rectangular packed film like all the others do. This uses a square film, which I've never had any that worked. I've had a pack before that I used, but nothing came out. It was long expired. And here's another Pretender, a Keystone 60-second ever flash, licensed by Polaroid to use their system, and it uses pack film just like all the others. I've got a couple more to pull out here. Give me a minute. Here's a couple more fairly modern pack film cameras. This is my favorite pack film camera of all the ones I have, the dozens I have. This is the Pro Pack. Very nice features, including a nice electronic flash unit, which I can also use to carry it with, though I shouldn't. And here's a similar Reporter, which has some of the same features, but does not feature a flash. Alright, I think we're going to take the show on the road here and go somewhere else and look at some more cameras. Alright, here's a couple of samples of some early Polaroid cameras, roll film. The two on the left are mid to late 50s, the 95B and the 80. I've never shot any of those, don't have any film, but they're interesting. And a lot of people didn't know that Ansel Adams worked for Polaroid from, I don't know, the late 40s on into the 60s. I'm not sure how long, and he did a lot of work and a lot of Polaroid photography. Some people, elitists who don't like Polaroids, might be shocked to know that. This is just a little incidental. I got it in an antique store one time. I liked it. Whoever RAC is, he got third place in snapshots in 1955. And I know that's not a Polaroid camera he's using, but I still liked it. Now here's a couple of other roll film cameras, the J66s. And I have shot a roll of film through here, but they didn't come out well. The film expired in 1972, and it didn't come out. I've never shot any film through this one. And I still have a roll, 1972, so I don't expect any difference in results. So I have not shot it either. I'm just going to keep it as a sample. Let's see, going over here we have a Swinger. This also used a roll film, and as I recall, the commercials had Allie, I forget her name, from Love Story, walking on the beach with the Swinger. Allie McGraw, yeah. Never shot anything through there either. Alright, let's turn my focus here a little and we'll look at a couple more. The last ones. Alright, here we have the Polaroid Photo Magic system, which you could insert little transparencies into your film pack that would come out laying on top of the picture, would be on your film you took. You could then use this cutter here and cut the center of the photo out where this transparency was, and they sold bags of buttons with removable, like little transparent clips on top, so you could insert those in buttons and pass them out or sell them as souvenirs. And there are lots of these little transparency types and styles that you could use for events and birthdays and whatnot. Here we have the kind of granddaddy of the Polaroids. I'm not sure what to call it. It's hugely heavy. You need a tripod. It's going to ache to carry it. This is the 600 SE, and this is actually made by Mamiya for Polaroid. I think Polaroid was having a little crisis of confidence back in the 1970 era, and nobody was taking them seriously. So Mamiya took their Mamiya press camera, made a few changes, and badged it as a Polaroid. But it has a pretty fantastic shooting spectrum. And finally, the big shot. This is a fixed focus, like 4 feet pack film camera. You get your subject in the middle and you use your feet to finally get it in focus. And this is the camera made famous by Andy Warhol, who used a lot of his portraits, who used it in a lot of his portrait photography. And it's really only for portrait photography. And flash. Daylight, not recommended. But it's an odd beast and pretty difficult to shoot with. Well, that's pretty much all of my Polaroid cameras that I can think of at the time. There'll probably be others I find in closets or someplace that I have forgotten about. But it was nice to get them out and take a look at them again. Hope you enjoyed the tour. I have quite a few full videos about individual cameras and subjects, Polaroid style, on my channel if you want to do a search and look for them. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Bye.